So B12 deficiency, are vegans more likely to be B12 deficient? Are vegetarians more likely to be B12 deficient? And are meat eaters safe from this B12 deficiency? Well, the short answer is no, but stick around if you want the long answer. Okay, so for those of you that stuck around, B12 deficiency is known to be caused by a lack of a chemical known as intrinsic factor. So what this intrinsic factor does is it allows for the uptake of B12. So if you don't know, B12 is not a vitamin per se. It's sort of a product that these, call them B12 bacteria, create in our intestines, in our intestinal tract. So it's a general lack of, so B12 deficiency is a general lack of intrinsic factor. So okay, so what causes the general lack of intrinsic factor? Well, it's believed to be a high-fat diet. So when we consume a high-fat diet, it does two things. One, it limits, it sort of clogs the pathways, the uptake sites. In other words, it clogs the pathways or uptake sites, wherever you want to see it, and it doesn't allow for the uptake of B12. So you couple that with a high-fat diet, which logically is low in carbohydrates. It's so high protein, a high-fat diet is low in carbohydrates. And what do these bacteria, these B12 bacteria, what do they thrive on? They thrive on carbs. Carbohydrates is their fuel. So when you take away their fuel, when you reduce their fuel, these bacteria don't have anything, or they have a really, really minimal source of food. So their colonies go down and their populations go down in your intestine. So you couple the decrease in population of these B12 bacteria, you couple that with a clogging of the uptake sites, and you really get B12 deficiency. And you know, it has to do with other things like living in such a sterile environment now, and you know, washing your hands constantly and washing your produce like a nutcase. And but so to combat that, if you live a vegan lifestyle that's high in carbs, low in fat, low in protein, high in fruits and vegetables, and better yet, if you grow your own, or you know exactly where your produce comes from, or at least a good amount of it, leave a little bit of that dirt on it. If you think about in nature, we wouldn't be so crazy about dirt, and we'd pick an apple, and we eat the whole apple, and we'd even eat the little stuff that gets at the top of the apple. You'd eat that, like the little dirt or whatever it is. So, I mean, that's my advice, is to not be so crazy about being hygienic, because you're really doing your body harm. We're not supposed to be in such a sterile environment all the time. We're supposed to be living outside. And if we're living outside, we're exposed to dirt, to all these terrible things that modern society, the modern way of thinking wants to sort of get away from, because it's nature and it's not ideal, and we're about conquering nature or whatever. So you get back to the basics. You get back to just not being crazy about washing your shit. So hope that helps. Post your comments, questions, thoughts down below. Let me know what you think. If you agree, do some research for yourself. See what intrinsic factor is. Check out how B12 is made. And you'll see that it's not a vegan problem. It's an everyone problem. So get on the high carb vegan diet and you'll be thriving. No B12 deficiencies, and it's easy. So it's Jaybird signing out. We'll see you soon. Peace.